In this episode, we walk into the part of the little prince's heart he never spoke aloud. After leaving the fox, the little prince kept walking. He couldn't describe the shape of his heart, only that some words were stuck in his throat, and a quiet weight rested on his chest. The wind carried him to a golden planet. No flowers, no trees, only a stillness so deep he could hear his own heartbeat. He tried to speak. "Is anyone here?" But the moment his words left his lips, they grew light, soft, and scattered like fine sand blown away by the wind. He paused, surprised. This planet makes every spoken word too light to hold. He tried again. Where did I come from?" And once more, the sound dissolved into tiny sparks of light. The little prince suddenly felt something familiar. The silence here sounded like the silence inside him. He sat down on the golden ground. The wind gathered the shattered pieces of his words, lifting them like a silent rain of shimmering dust. Those tiny lights were like feelings that disappeared before they were spoken. He reached out to catch them, but nothing stayed in his hands. In that moment, he understood. The wind carried away his words, but left behind the weight of everything he never said. That weight had always been there. He had just never seen its shape. The ground began to glow softly. 3 bubbles rose slowly, as if growing from the soil. The first, red with tiny thorns, was the rose's heart. The second, transparent and trembling, was the fox's heart. The third, half-transparent and shapeless, was the little prince's heart. He looked at his own bubble, and his chest tightened. So this was his heart, light, unsure, as if every truth he wanted to say still hadn't found a place to stand. For the first time, he felt he wasn't cold, he wasn't avoiding, he simply didn't know how to speak his heart, not even to himself. Just then, a gentle rainbow light fell onto the planet. Luan appeared. She didn't ask anything. She simply sat quietly beside the little prince. Lifting her brush, she traced the drifting specks of light, as though painting an invisible rain. The little prince whispered, "Could you hear what I said earlier?" Luan looked at the scattered fragments and nodded softly. "I can't hear them land, but I can see their weight." The little prince froze, stunned. He looked at the shimmering dust, each spark a piece of his unfinished heart. At last, he spoke, softly, not to explain, not to defend, but simply to tell himself, "I wasn't indifferent. I was just afraid I'd do it wrong, so I didn't dare get too close. I didn't lack love. I just didn't know where to place it, so my silence made others think I didn't care. I didn't want to leave. I was just afraid that staying would make everyone even sadder." His voice grew light again, but this time, the wind did not carry it away. Because this time, he was speaking his heart. Luan traced the rose's red bubble. In its thorns lived a longing to be loved. In its petals, a brave attempt to hide fear. Then she traced the fox's transparent bubble. Inside it, a quiet kind of waiting, and the softest wish to be close. Finally, she drew toward the little prince's heart. "These hearts," she whispered, "none of them are bad. They're all just learning how to speak themselves." The little prince listened, and a soft light flickered in his eyes. "So, we're all trying our best in the way we know how. Trying to reach, trying to be seen, trying to become what it hopes to be. Even if that effort looks clumsy, painful, transparent, or incomplete." The wind passed once more. The three bubbles drifted in different directions, like three hearts growing up, each returning to its own journey. Not a farewell, not a breaking, not a turning back, just a quiet understanding. We are all becoming someone who can love a little better. The little prince looked up at his bubble. It was no longer shapeless. It was slowly forming. For the first time, he felt he wasn't running away. He was learning to hold. He took a deep breath and whispered, "This time, I want my heart to be a little heavier than the wind." The words did not scatter. The wind held them gently, as if responding, "You're ready." A soft ring of light bloomed across the planet. The story never says where he went afterward or whom he returned to, because the place he truly needed to return to was not a flower nor a fox, but his own heart. The wind carries away our words, but leaves behind the hearts we never finished speaking. Every heart is trying its best in the way it knows how,